שלום, שלום לכל מי
Good morning everyone. Hello, good evening, wherever you are in the world, and especially to our dear friends in North America. Today we're on a special lesson towards our upcoming convention in North America that will take place at the end of May. Hello, Dr. Laitman.
Hello, everyone. I'm very happy we have this meeting and we can have this special lesson toward the Congress. I'm happy to see some of the people who will be at the Congress already here. And I'll be happy to take questions. It'll help me understand more about the people, what they expect from the Congress, etc.
So, with us in the studio, probably we all know each other, Asaf, Gilad, Marcos. With us, virtually connected, is also the Learning Center, the director, the manager of the Learning Center, Mike Kellag, the coordinator of the English department, Norma Livne, the General Congress Director, Zohar Mor, and other friends that will join us. We'll start with a short article, and then we'll dedicate most of this lesson to the lessons we got from you, from the students. So we'll both, also we have some questions that we got in advance, and also we have Marcus on the computer waiting for your questions live. So wherever you are, you can ask your question. We'll get it through Cap TV. So let's start with an article by the Rabash. If you have the book, The Social Writings by Rabash, we're going to call from the article called They Helped Everyone His Friend. This entire broadcast is translated into English, so our friends hear everything in English, including text. So again, we're starting with a short article by Rabash called They Helped Everyone His Friend, and then we'd like Laitman to explain it to us in light of the Congress.
Let's go.
We must understand how one can help his friend. Is this matter specifically when there are rich and poor, wise and fools, weak and strong, but when all are rich, smart, or strong, etc., how can one help another? We see that there is one thing that is common to all: the mood. It is said, a concern in one's heart, let him speak of it with others. This is because with regard to feeling high-spirited, neither wealth nor erudition can be of assistance. Rather, it is one person who can help another by seeing that one's friend is low. It is written, one does not deliver oneself from imprisonment. Rather, it is one's friend who can lift his spirit. This means that one's friend raises him from his state into a state of liveliness. Then one begins to reacquire strength and confidence of life and wealth, and he begins as though his goal is now near him. It turns out that each and every one must be attentive and think how he can help his friend raise his spirit. Because in the matter of spirits, anyone can find a needy place in one's friend that he can fill.
It's a short article. I remember that Rabash wrote it kind of on the way. It's one of the first articles when he didn't think he would write so many articles and we would have all those volumes where he expressed all of man's spiritual work. So at that time there were only small pieces of paper on which he wrote. Afterwards, we bought him a typewriter. First a mechanical one and then an electric one. We didn't get to a computer, to a PC yet. Although PC were already beginning with, they were emerging with word processors. But it was still too soon for him. So what did I want to say? What is this article talking about? We are all in a state called Adam Arishon, broken. Meaning there was a system that was arranged. It was in order, and I'm drawing it this way. And that will to receive was as one desire, and what filled it was one light, one force. Afterwards, after many actions that we learn in the wisdom of Kabbalah, what appeared was that desire began to deteriorate. It escalated from a state called Ein Sof. It cascaded from a state called Ein Sof until it crashed and divided into many parts. I'm talking about the descent, the changes that took place in that desire. And that desire, which changed in this way, felt that it was divided into many individual desires. And each of these desires was in opposition to the others. It's as if it's in a bubble, like in a bubble, where the desire itself is a desire to enjoy. But the shell around it, the klipa, is an intention to receive for himself, to reject others and take into consideration only his own pleasure. We see it on ourselves from life in this world. We think, for example, this is me. You see, I made myself bigger, see. Meaning what? There's a desire here, which is a black dot, and around it, the red is the intention for myself. Everything I want is to reject others. I don't want to take them into consideration. As far as I'm concerned, they shouldn't exist or exist only to benefit me. If not to benefit me, there's no point in their existence. This is my basic attitude to the world, to use the whole world to my benefit. And this is what we get. We were in a state called Ein Sof, infinity, or no end. We decline to a state where we are remote from one another, rejecting one another, unable to even slightly take into account another person. And if we think we do, we're wrong. So we still have to learn who we really are and what is our nature. Each one thinks only about how to enjoy himself, and we can't get out of it. It's our nature. It's no one's fault. That's how we were born, that's how we exist, and we cannot come out of it. The wisdom of Kabbalah tells us how we can come out of that state and return to a state where all of us are once again as before. as one desire. Why am I saying as? Because we won't be one desire as before. We will be as one desire, meaning that we, with our ego, although the ego remains big, ego, at the same time, while being in our big egos, at the same time, we will connect above the ego. And again, it'll be like one, or as one. Let's do it this way. We were as one desire. Then we became as... Okay, so we were one desire. Then we became many individual opposing desires. And now we're returning to being one desire. In these states, we note these states as states number 1, 2, and 3. So here, number 3, we return to being one. But in 3, it's our desire as it was before. As it was before. Yes, we have. D, desire 1, and here we have D2, and here is D3. So D3 is a desire to give one desire, but with all the contradictions, with all the ego and everything there is. So it's a very strong desire. D3 is D1 times 620. That number, 620, tells us that, well, this is what we get to. It's a very powerful desire. It's a very special one. When we get to it, we truly come to the ultimate sensation and perception and understanding. The biggest. This is the plan, to get from state 1 through state 2 to state 3. This is the plan of creation. This is what we need to do. So what we need here is only to see where is our work. In order to bring the will to receive from state 1 through state 2, and from there to state 3, you have the whole system of creation. It's an engine that's constantly working. And in a tiny part of that process, we can accelerate the development and join it. And as we join it, we begin to understand, to feel, to participate in it, to be as partners, participants. And that's very important, because by this we ascend to the level of the Creator. We thereby become as God, omniscient, and even able to participate and even manage the whole of reality by ourselves. By this we actually achieve the level of the upper force. And this is the goal. Do you want to know something?
Yeah, we got many questions, and there's a question that repeats itself, that they study especially virtually. And about the sketch you just drew, how can the convention help our studying? How does the gathering bring us to D3?
The Congress helps in that it's exactly the second part of the article you read. When we want to implement the connection, but we are colliding with one another, what happens is this way. Let's move on to the next drawing. What happens is this. This is me, and this is a friend. So I and the friend reject one another. He rejects me, I reject him. None of us wants to come close. We are willing to use one another, but only to our own benefit. So this is his ego, this is mine. Here, there's nothing you can do. That's the ego, that's mine, and that's his ego. What do we do here so we don't get confused? 1 and 2. What should I do?
A ו-B.
נכון. A and B.
נכון. Right. Let's do this. Ego A and ego B. Whatever. Ego B. So, what happened here? So they reject one another. In this way, we can't get closer. We realize that in the system of Adam Rishon, we can't be together. And the same applies to everyone, to all the parts of Adam Rishon, of the system. So what do? We come to the wisdom of Kabbalah, which teaches us something simple. If you begin to make efforts to be together, as if you are together, as if you want to connect at some point between you, then you can awaken on this point a light that is present here and which influences you. When the light influences you, the light that will influence you is called Or Makif, surrounding light. Or Makif. Why? Because it's there. It's the light that filled the light that previously filled in D1. In D1, that's the light that filled reality. It filled reality. So that light is the same light, but it's hidden. So now that light exited that reality, and it's outside. So what happens is this. You make efforts. This is F1 and this is FB. You want to connect to one another, you make all kinds of efforts, you study together, you have meals, yeshivot chavarim, congresses. Yes? Now we're talking about the importance of the Congress. And by this, we are drawing the reforming light, that big light that will influence us. And through our efforts and the light, we come to a state where we connect. The minute we begin to connect, even two people, not to mention many, when we get together and create a huge force of bestowal. So when we connect, in the connection between us, if we have two egoists, ego 1 and ego 2, if we connect out of the two of us, one force is made. Meaning there is one, A plus B. 1. And then in this one, the light can influence, because the light too has the force of one, meaning its nature is one. So to the extent that we overcome our common ego, the light fills us, and then we get the light inside, meaning the revelation of the Creator to the people. So to discover the Creator, I have to connect with at least one person. And if there are more than one, then I connect more easily. It's the matter of the influence of the environment on a person, and they help everyone is friend in all kinds of ways, but this is the point, really. That's why when we come to a Congress and want, during the Congress, to discover the spiritual world, the upper world, then to us, it's the safest, best, easiest state to achieve it. Because I am there with many friends. We're all egoists. Each of us wants to achieve the goal. No one is in it, but we're willing to make efforts a little bit. But if you have many people and everyone somewhat wants to connect in order to discover the spiritual world, egoistically, we're not required to be spiritual already. But if we do this, then we come to a state where the reforming light truly influences us, because we have many people, all of whom want to be as one in order to attain the upper force, to come to feel the upper world, to discover it. So many individual forces influence us in order to help us connect a tiny bit. And in that tiny bit of connection, among many people, we will feel some sort of a revelation of the upper world. And this is why we come.
Question. You just described the essence of the spiritual work between friends. Now, whoever was at a Congress, he knows that it's a perfect place. It's like a laboratory where you can realize it in practice. But someone who was never to a Congress yet, maybe he's thinking that we can do this work also virtually. What's so special about coming to a Congress physically, meeting with people physically, so that it helps us realize the system you've just described?
The truth is that there is no difference whatsoever between being physically at a Congress or being in the woods, in a hut where you live alone with a bear, with a dog, with whatever. No problem. The question is, will you be influenced by the environment? If you're alone in the woods or in a Congress. And if you're alone in the woods, it's even a good situation. If you're in the Manhattan jungle, influenced by the atmosphere around you, even if you shut the windows and doors and everything, and you detach yourself from the city, you're still influenced by what is happening outside, instead of being influenced by several hundred friends around you, all of whom want to connect. There is no difference. Well, it's how we are, it's who we are. We're weak. We can't be drawn to connection for the 3 days. If a person really detaches himself from the world, and I really recommend that you detach yourself. You're coming to dedicate 3 days to the spiritual business.
Scott from the UK is asking, what states should we expect to discover together on the New Jersey Congress?
We need to be drawn to the highest state. If a child doesn't want to grow up, he won't grow up. I can't see in front of me just a little bit and not everything. I have to want to have it all, to get to the end of correction, to really conquer the whole of the spiritual world.
Another really short quotation by Bala Sulam. It's quotation number 1, citation number 1. Bala Sulam says, "You should know that there are many sparks of holiness, and each one in the group. When you assemble all the sparks of holiness into one place, as brothers, with love and friendship, you will certainly have a very high level of holiness for a while from the light of life." What are actually those sparks that exist in each and every one of the friends, and what does it mean to have this level, to achieve this level?
When we were together in the first system of Adam Rishon, D1, we had one desire in which there was one light. Kli and light. And the light that filled the Kli, the Kli was similar to the light, Kli meaning vessel. And we were similar to the upper light. We felt the whole of creation. It felt to us infinite, whole, eternal. And that's how we existed. Except we were in this like a drop of semen in the womb, completely annulled before the light. We had no self-determination, so to speak, self-existence. You couldn't even say that it existed. You can't say about semen or even about an embryo that it really exists. What does it know? It does, or even it's a small baby, an infant. It can't sustain itself. It can't do anything. So, but the purpose of the Creator is to bring creation gradually to a state where the creatures connect, achieve a single structure, understand who the Creator is by connecting among them from the opposite state, and then discovering the uppermost state, the infinite world, and in this way advance toward wholeness and eternity. That's why we need to go through all these states with the number of people we have in the world, in every stage in our history, in all the states we have to overcome above obstacles, technology, contemporary persons, psychology, with all of our technology, etc. So all of these obstacles are in order for us to, nonetheless, and despite it, connect.
A question from a new student. He's saying, I only started studying. I can't say that I understand much about the wisdom of Kabbalah. Will I really be able to benefit from this gathering? Will I really be able to understand what we're learning and advance as a result?
I think that from the program convention that I saw, we built it in a very kind of general way. The program includes many things, many elements, from the beginning of creation to the end of creation, and the whole process we have to go through. This program is specifically intended for beginners, but also for veterans, so that everyone can understand it. A beginner will see it as a general plan. They might not be able to detect all the intricacies and all the details because they're still unprepared to absorb it. The veteran will see the connection between the general and the particular, and again from the particular to the general. So they will benefit from that as well. So I saw that in the end, as we were thinking about the program of the Congress, that you can really have every single person, whoever wants to come, there are no limitations. everyone will feel comfortable there and will get from there a big boost, a big push toward the purpose of creation. And I hope that we will already begin to open up our sensations toward the upper world.
A question from the EC. Catherine's asking about drawing the light. Is it possible to draw the light being on your own?
Look, what does it mean to draw light? The sun shines, okay? So here we have a big building here, and it's got a roof. Yesterday I went up on the roof. I was told I had to be 10 minutes a day in the sun. I have some kind of a skin problem on my face. So I was walking around like this, then like that, then like this, toward the sun, okay? So the sun shone on me, according to how I turned. The sun wasn't turning. I was turning toward the sun. So I was absorbing the sun rays in the most effective way. This is called using the light. The light is in complete rest. It's fixed, constant. It's omnipresent, even now among us. Just as powerful as in the world of Ein Sof. But we don't feel it. We cannot use it. How do we come to a state where I draw to me the rays of light? That's what the wisdom of Kabbalah teaches us. That's why it's called the wisdom of Kabbalah, the wisdom of reception. How I grab the light and use it to my benefit. This is what we need. So we, in the end, come to a state where the wisdom of Kabbalah helps us. Take a friend, come to a congress, take a book, listen to what is being said, answer a question, ask a question, meaning turn yourself as best as you can toward the upper light, and it will influence you and fix things up for you. We don't change ourselves. We cannot correct ourselves. We can only, just like being on the roof, turning my face toward the sun, so the sun will influence me more efficiently. This is what we do, and that's enough. Because the light is the only force that operates in creation. And the trick is only to be close to it, with our face to it, with our emotions to it. So its power, I can absorb as much of it as possible, and this is what will change me.
Sat from Yuda is asking, what action can we do in this world that will be most beneficial for everyone, and how do we do it?
We just have to connect. Just like in the drawing. We don't need to do anything else. Meaning, our goal is to connect so as to once again be one desire, that is 620 times stronger than the first desire, because it'll be above our egos. But all of our operations are in order to connect, meaning this is what we work toward. So we come to workshops, to meals, we sing, we have cultural evenings, we disseminate, study, of course, and etc. We come to the Congress, especially. The Congress is the highlight of connection. It's all in order to connect. There's nothing else. Congress is the utmost action of connection. We pay a lot of money for it. a lot of time we put into it, a lot of effort. We come to a state where we feel uncomfortable, actually. It's not like I come to a lesson or to a lecture for an hour, I feel great. Then I go back to my own bed, in my own home, and I go to sleep. Here I come to some place. So this effort of paying and making efforts, and maybe I put myself in inconvenient situations. It's not as comfortable as at home, etc. So when I do these things, this investment brings me to be under the influence of the light. It's very important. The more you put into it, the more you'll be influenced by the light. There's a question from a beginner here. It's probably his first Congress. I remember I also felt this way. You're talking about a Congress, opportunities, highlight. It sounds great. But on the other hand, I have this rejection, no desire to be there. There are many people there, and I don't know anyone. Rav, I understand him. If you don't know, then I have to tell you, I am the opposite in my of going to congresses, and I feel the most comfortable in jail, in an isolated cell. I don't need. Not only do I not want to walk out, I don't want anyone coming in. My whole life I was like that. But look what happened to me, what was done to me. I have to tend to people, I have to talk to them, I have to perform, and I get all kinds of humiliations for it and whatnot. It's the opposite of my nature. So what am I trying to say? We have no choice. You need to understand that if you, like this student who doesn't want to come, and he is generally a person who likes to stay alone, stay at home. He doesn't like to be in big crowds. He's not exactly sociable. That means he's got an ego that resists connection, but if he presses it a little bit toward connection, is to come without any commitments. It's enough if he sits in a corner at the Congress, no one touches him, and he won't need to do anything, but just the general atmosphere he'll absorb will open up the world to him.
Meaning, if I'm coming to the Congress, it doesn't necessarily mean that I have to talk to everyone and mingle.
No. You can come, stay by yourself. No one will force you.
So, regarding the special force that's felt among those people that aspire for spirituality, the reason for which we get together, we have a short citation by Rabash. So the Rabash, he says, it's citation number 4. There is a special power in the adhesion of friends, since views and thoughts pass from one to the other through the adhesion between them. Each is mingled with the power of the other, and by that each person in the group has the power of the entire group. For this reason, although each person is an individual, he contains the power of the entire group.
Yep. That's it. I have nothing to add, really. No, well, okay, I do have something to add. According to the drawing, please, if this is me, for example, can you see it? This big ego. If I connect with everyone, then I become one I become like the system, like the whole system. This law is called particular. In general, are the same. It means that each and every one of the 7 billion parts we have here, each and every one of us, and it's not 7 billion. 7 billion is the people who are alive in the world today. Yes? But how many people existed throughout history? So what happens is that each one of us becomes as Adam, as Adam HaRishon, acquiring the entire system. You understand the meaning of this number, 600 times, multiplied by 600 times. It means that billions and billions of pieces acquire the power of the entire system. And this way, each one and everyone together, this circle of each one, all the circles connect and become a sphere. And that sphere is truly infinite. And then the light that operates in it is called Yechidah, something that didn't exist in the world of Ein Sof, in the beginning of creation. There was only light of Nefesh there, very small. And therefore, we come and discover the Creator, who didn't exist in this way before.
I have a question from a student in the U.S. I want to read it like you wrote it. He said, I was to the New Jersey Congress last year. It was my first time, and there was an amazing atmosphere, and I understand what you're saying about the way the light influences you. My question is, was it because you were there or because of something else that I felt there? And how is it going to be any different this year? I experienced it last year, and why come this year again?
Look, I'll tell you. I see that people who attend congresses every year, in the U.S. we have a yearly congress once a year.
The big congress, yeah.
Yeah, there are smaller ones in between. I think that the progress from Congress to Congress is very important, very significant, very special. I don't think you should miss out, especially today, because such a gathering of people, of my students, who have been together for many years, along with new students, and the situation in the United States in general, the problematic situation in the U.S., socially, technologically, the job market, the developments in the world in general. Even if we don't think about the spiritual world, just about benefiting our physical life, physical world. So our Congress, even on that level, helps each of us advance. And we may not feel after the Congress that we have many changes at work or with the family or something. But we don't know what might have happened, what would happen were it not for this. So I think that just like you felt last year, today you might feel several times more.
The students in Chicago and New York, they have the possibility of asking live. And there's actually the young group there that are physically with us. They finished a few semesters in the campuses, and they're with us. So if you have a question, you can prepare it and you can ask it live.
Yeah, by all means, go ahead.
Now, one more thing is we'd like to ask the Zohar Mor from Chicago, the director of the Congress, to say a few words.
We can't see him.
כן, אנחנו שומעים אותך,
We hear you.
יכול לדבר.
Speak English.
So, first of all, we want to start by saying thank you to Rav for giving us this opportunity. I don't know how friends here really realize how special this opportunity is to have a special lesson with Rav, especially for our campus students, our young group students from all over North America and all over the world. It's truly a unique opportunity to ask questions and have this whole hour and a half kind of dedicated to us. I want to tell you that the preparation for the Congress is in its peak. There are friends from all over the world, from all over North America, volunteering and preparing this special event. The excitement is really high. You may not know this, but we're actually getting close to filling out the capacity of our event. And so we need to start, if anyone is still on the fence, they need to decide now, because we are going to, at some point, run out of room. And we do want to make sure that we have room for everyone and make sure we prepare everything for everyone. I just want to introduce you right now. The people that are sitting in the room with me are the students of the second semester in the campus. And in New York, we have campus students, and we have all over young group students from all over North America who have joined us today also. I'm going to ask a question. Hopefully soon our young students will kind of get the question out of their heart, and they'll be able to ask it. The question I have for Rav is this. You said that when we come, we kind of connect with all the points. You go from D1 to D2 to D3, and you basically are connecting yourself to all those other points. You're connecting your big ego to everything. So if I'm a new student, I'm just in the second semester of the campus, I don't know, I'm about to sit there with people who have been there for 10, 15 years, have been studying. How do I connect with them? How do I, and if I can connect with them, what kind of benefit do I get as a new student? Does it somehow advance me much faster because I'm connecting to someone who's more advanced in some way?
כן, D זה נקרא desire, זה ברור, כן? זה רצון. לכן אני כתב.
D stands for desire, right? That's obvious, right? That's why I wrote it this way. So it's clear. Desire number 1, 2, 3. So what is my benefit when I connect to the friends, to the students, to the beginners? I'll tell you. When I give lessons to beginners, I learn more than when I give lessons to veterans. Really. And it's not true that we can't be included, mingle with beginners. Beginners have they're new. They have new reshimot, new recollections, impressions. They don't know anything. They're bringing an empty kli, an empty vessel, and together with them we work on that kli. It's written, I learned from all my students, meaning the teacher learns from the students, not with his friends, but from his students. We have many friends who give all kinds of courses, like campuses and stuff. Ask them. It turns out that it's actually when they give a lesson and have to answer questions, this is when they understand the most and more deeply, better able to explain. I often, almost every lesson, or even several times a lesson, I hear what a student says, and I suddenly get these things more deeply. I feel like he's helping me understand things more broadly, because let's say I've been in Kabbalah for 40 years, and he's been in for a month. So it's not about that. It's about connection of desires, where he and I, as he's asking and I want to answer, and in this way we somehow connect. The light influences, it influences his new desire. So through his new desire, I begin to understand this whole matter, this question and answer, and this connection that didn't exist in reality before. We haven't connected, we haven't felt the revelation until now. So it brings a new light to everyone. This is why I highly recommend beginners. Come, you will help the veterans. And the veterans, you should understand that the new students are not a burden. They come to help us veterans in a new, truer, and deeper way understand what happens in the general soul, in the general system of Adam HaRishon.
And does it work the other way around too? If I'm a new student?
If you're a beginner and you come among veterans, then you have some sort of attitude toward them. You want to come closer to them, you want to mingle with them, so you benefit from them. You come to receive what's already prepared, like a child who is walking among adults, trying to absorb what he can from there. So beginners, do come.
James
from Pennsylvania is saying that this will be his first Congress, and he's asking Rav, how can we prepare ourselves for the Congress as new students in the best possible way?
I don't know. Maybe you can tell me what's there on the landing page?
Okay, so first of all, on the Kabbalah.info site, we have the landing page for the Congress, and you have all the info about the Congress, the hotel, how to get there, everything. Also, we have the preparation section, and on the same page, you have the link for the Unity Day, which is the main thing. If we're talking about the preparation for the Congress and we're coming as new students, then first of all, we recommend this event, especially the Unity Day. It's going to be on May 1st, 10 a.m. to 30 p.m. It's going to be in all the centers, and you can find all the info about it. This is actually the event if a new student is asking himself, how do I prepare myself for this Congress? This is the virtual event that you can connect to and understand how do we prepare ourselves for the Congress in the best possible way. Yeah, so we have the preparation section on the same site, but especially you should focus yourself on making it to the Unity Day. There's a virtual link if you can't make it physically to a group. But by the way, this is a great opportunity to meet your local group, local physical group on the Unity Day, and the site is being constantly updated with materials.
What materials are there?
Everything we're preparing now, all the program, the materials, the music.
But there's material you can read and prepare yourself for the Congress?
Yes.
Songs maybe also? Something, so I can learn these things and I come there and it won't be something totally unknown to me. And it's updated all the time? So if I know what's in this landing page, it'll help me?
Yeah, especially on the preparation section. And also any other detail that you'd like to find out about, how to get there, transportation.
And if you don't know, you can ask?
And also, if you have a question that has not been answered, you can write us, you can contact us. There are people here that are waiting for you.
I also think that people who already attended previous congresses should give their impressions there. Because maybe I'm not a great speaker and I can't explain what happens there, but people who were there, who were at the previous Congress for the first time, maybe they can explain there how it helped them understand Kabbalah, the purpose of creation, what we do, etc.
So maybe we can really ask Beth. who's a veteran student that is really helping a lot with the organization of our congresses from year to year. Maybe she can tell us how does she experience this, the experience of the new students that come to the Congress. What do they feel? And maybe you can add a few more details. Maybe you can tell us about your experience of what is the Congress, how does it feel?
Please, ma'am.
Thanks. The experiences of coming to the Congress, the very first one I can remember and feel still so clearly. What an amazing sensation of feeling like this was a place I belonged like no other, this closeness, like this family feeling that was just unbelievable. And I have attended so many congresses since that first one many years ago. And each time there's such an incredible desire to be with these people that all have this strong goal. And each time the influence from them is so great. So it's really wonderful. And I love when now going to congresses, I hear the new students say that they have the same kind of feeling I did, that they're so amazed that they feel like they fit there. They feel like this is their family, that there's such it's like walking into this huge warm hug that doesn't bother you if you don't like people touching you, but it's like this really warm embrace of love and warmth and, intense desire.
עכשיו אנחנו נרצה לעבור לקבוצת ניו יורק, שם חבר שלנו ולד, שהוא גם מדריך בקבוצה הצעירה, גם מורה בקמפוס. רוצה לשאול שאלה.
ניו יורק?
לא שומעים אותך.
Vlad, we cannot hear you.
Okay, there are a few questions from also our friends from all over the world clear connected with us, and friends from around the world are asking, two friends from the EC, they're asking, how will we mingle with everyone if not everyone speaks English?
What's the problem? Oh, someone who comes and it's not his mother tongue. If a person comes without and doesn't speak English, there'll be translation on there, right?
Yeah, but will it prevent me from connecting with those students?
No. We've been through congresses where even now we have here a friend from China, from Kazakhstan, from Russia.
Another friend from the U.S. just now landed.
Yeah, from the U.S., from everywhere. We're constantly in this mixture of, friends from Japan. They have a beautiful new group. And etc. So there's no problem. Everyone who comes there, I think, will. Well, of course, the Congress will be held in English, but even if you really don't speak English, you'll always have someone next to you who will help you out with translation of everything. And besides, all the broadcast is translated simultaneously. And we're used to it, and we're arranged for it already. Besides, you can ask, if I come and all I speak is, I speak only Japanese. Then we also have friends who speak both Japanese and English, and they can help out. So that shouldn't be a reason. For example, we had the Japan group here in Israel a month and a half ago. In February, we had a big congress in Israel, with 7,000 people from all over the world, from Asia, from Africa, from Europe, from America, from Australia, more than 60 countries. And we found ways to translate. We're very experienced already, and I have no doubt that no one will stay mute. So please come. It only helps if there's a difficulty in the connection between us, because by this, or as a result of this, we can advance toward connection. When you have problems in connections, it's the best. If there's resistance and I don't want to come, but I still come. If there's a difficulty understanding the friend, and I still make the effort to connect, and I don't really like him, I don't know, I'm not really attracted to him, but I still overcome it. That overcoming draws the light. The intensity of the drawing of the light is much stronger. So the more there are problems and conflicts and contradictions, it's a sign that it'll be good. So don't be afraid of failures, problems, resistance, language problems, anything. We need to be happy that we have such, not failures, but challenges along the way. How did you learn, at school, at university? Can you learn without solving problems, exercises, answering questions, taking tests? You have to have them. So these are problems we overcome. So I really ask specifically those people who can make an effort and overcome obstacles on their way to come into the Congress, please do it. You will gain.
אז קודם כל דיברנו על זה שיש אתר ויש שם חומרים, וזה ברור שצריך לעקוב ולהיות כל הזמן ככה מעודכנים בזה.
אז על זה אני רוצה להגיד כמה דברים.
I'd like to say a few words about it. This site is very important. You have to go there and really study it. Get to know the Congress. When you come to it, you'll be prepared. You will see how everything is familiar, prepared, understood. It's as if you know everything. You may not know the faces, but in an hour, you will already have made acquaintances, so it's not a problem. Besides, the Congress is built in such a way that it'll be divided into eights. So the main thing is to get into your own eights. So I have to be with 7 other people. So first I have to know them. I have to get to know them and be with them the whole Congress. So then, what happens is I connect with them and I go around with them and do all kinds of things with them. So I already have this envelope. I'm with the friends. When we go outside, we can eat together. We can have the breaks and then be together at Yeshivat Chaverim. We can be together when we study. We are together. When we sing, we are together. So I already have my small environment. I'm not totally alone among hundreds of people.
If you can describe how should I come to the Congress? What does it mean that I'm prepared? What kind of inner state should I be in?
The inner state is very simple. I am going to learn how to connect with a few people, not many, a few people, so that in the connection between us, we discover the upper world, upper state, not from this world, something from the upper world, from paradise, from the spiritual world. I am going to grasp a phenomenon that doesn't exist in this world. I'm going to touch the secret of creation and penetrate through a kind of a wormhole. Right. So in this way, I'm going to penetrate the other reality, the upper one. It's possible, and I can do it. Everyone can do it. As long as we learn at the Congress how to find in the connection the way to the highest state. And then you go out to wholeness. You begin to see reality above life, corporeal life and death, above corporeal problems. You begin to see things on a different level. Please.
A student from the U.S. is asking, what is the definition of connection? If I come to meet people from other groups, does it mean that I connect with them only because I'm physically close?
Even if I just see them from afar, I just wave at them, say hi, doesn't matter. It's enough. It's connection. Because we come with one purpose. Even if I don't speak to you, I'm not hugging you, and we sit on the opposite ends of the hall, whatever. We absorb from one place. We want to get to one place. We have one idea, one goal, etc. That's why we connect with everyone.
I feel that he wants to penetrate a bit deeper, and he's asking, why is the physical connection not enough?
Well, there's also a physical connection.
But he's saying, suppose I'm physically close to my friends, to my family, why is that connection insufficient?
But you can't implement the same laws of connection among them. The laws that make you feel the upper world. You cannot keep the laws of Adam HaRishon, the system of Adam HaRishon, the integral system. If you can do this, go ahead, do it at work, do it at home, do it anywhere. You have to learn how to do it. But if you already know it and can implement it in one place, then you don't need anything else. Yes.
Okay, talking about preparing the new students for this, for an event which is very new for people that are coming there for the very first time. And with us is the Education Center manager, Mike Kellogg. So maybe Mike can ask the question that he feels which is most important for the students.
You should also say a few words.
Yeah.
Oh, Rav, I have to tell you, it's amazing. I'm sitting here also connected to the students. We have this being channeled through the Education Center, and we literally have hundreds of students watching the lesson right now. They were very, very excited about being able to be here today, and took a lot of time with regard to, what question do I write in? We asked them all to be able to write in questions to you and whatever they wanted, and we didn't restrict them from anything, and we were flooded with questions, as you can imagine. But the students are currently undergoing, obviously, the preparation classes for the Congress, and we have this huge, giant unity event coming. And then along with it, we're going to continue on with the preparation courses. There's a huge majority of these students that will be at this Congress. We have some people that aren't sure. They have something that holds them back. And some people have true problems like financial difficulties in coming there. But they have questions that they don't communicate really. Something inside just holds them back. And I know the same thing happened to me. The same thing it did. I just wasn't sure. I don't know. how can we possibly express this incredible opportunity that happens that shortens the path literally months and months, that explains exactly what they will benefit out of being able to attend this event? How do we get that across to them?
We already know that this resistance in a person comes from his ego. It is a special force that must show its resistance, because to the extent of this resistance, once we overcome it, we amplify the light in Adam HaRishon 620 times. That's why it's important for us here when we reach the third and final state. Where does this multiplication by 620 comes from compared to D1, to the first state? Through the resistance out of the general ego that we have here. What is the third state? D3. It's the first state times 620. Where do they come from? These 620 are our ego, through which we increase as we overcome it. We come to a manifold, to a power of light that is many, many times stronger. Look, guys, it's simple. We're in the light even now, but we don't feel it. To us, it's zero. To feel it and live in it more and more, we must rise above our egos. And then our ego is divided into 620 degrees. 620 degrees from 0 to 620. This is why, to allow us to discover the light, increase it, so it shines in us, we have the collision, the resistance, the difficulty. These resistors are constantly in front of us. So specifically those who have a bigger resistance, it's a sign that they are about to grab more of the light. So it's really worthwhile for you specifically to come. And you have an opportunity with your resistance and with being with us. Then you can achieve revelation. I envy these people. It's said that the more a person advances, the more he yearns for the problems he had before, because now he could overcome them and receive a lot of light that now he can't. Just like when we grow up, we regret, why didn't I study this when I was a kid? Why didn't I do that? So don't be disappointed, Mike, draw them, pull them in like kids. Yes.
Monique from the Education Center in Virginia, she's saying, I read, I watch the lessons, I'm part of the group, we talk about the lessons, and we also watch the virtual lessons together. My question is, I have a strong urge to do something, but I don't know what that thing is, what this urge is. It's growing ever stronger. and I come to more and more lessons, and it's like, what can I do in order to satisfy this urge, this need?
I didn't really understand.
Monique, she's saying that she studies and they discuss the materials and so on, but she has this desire that she can't satisfy. So how can I satisfy it? That's what she's asking.
So maybe that desire hasn't been fulfilled yet. Let's put it simply. There's a law in spirituality, a very simple one. It's called, there is no sum, no part in spirituality. If I have a small measure of a kli, a vessel, say, right, that's clear. That's the kli, a small amount. Meaning, I want only, by the way, this is my ego. Because it's a desire. A desire. Now, I want my desire to be filled with spirituality to a certain extent. I want it filled up only this much and not more. And the rest, I don't want it. This can remain empty. Right? And here it's full. Here's the light. It's not going to work. This will not work. I have to have a 100% desire. Desire for 100%. This is the only way I can be filled. So that's why this whole issue of mingling during the Congress when I'm included with others, and then I get to a 100% desire for 100%, then I'm filled. When everything else, which I can't do by myself, the friends will do it for me.
At the Congress?
Yes.
If Monique will come to the Congress, she'll be able to feel the...
She will be able to complete her desire. She'll look at others. They want this, and that. There's jealous and desire for respect. Why they can do it and I can't. So the Congress is the strongest thing. And by that we get to the strongest desire. We take it from others.
There's a citation exactly about what Rav just said. It's citation number 3. If a person is among people who have the desire for spirituality, if he likes these people, he too will take their strength to prevail and their desires and aspirations.
Yes.
Also, Joseph from San Francisco is asking, how can the connection benefit my life after the Congress?
Again?
How will the connection that we will achieve at the Congress benefit my life
after? After the Congress, you'll have a different life.
Better?
Better. Yeah, after the Congress, you'll have a different life. Don't think about what you'll have after the Congress. We come there, we end life. That's it. We are reborn and begin a new life.
Christian Dawson from London is asking about what does our success depend on?
We can achieve the end of correction. We can come to a state where that's it. We're ending all of our problems. Not just we, all over the world. We really can. It depends on our desire only.
Maybe it's the answer to a question where We learn about love and connection. In the world we see suffering, pain, cruelty. Could our efforts, could the Congress have an impact on all this?
Yes, for sure. When we come to connect, we influence the whole world positively. Yes, for sure. There will be a big change. You'll feel it even in the elections in the U.S. You'll feel it everywhere.
Also many questions from different groups from all over the world, from Europe, Turkey, Kazakhstan. They're asking about the World Kli during the Congress. What can they do?
The World Kli will be connected to us. They'll be with us, support us. We will think about them. And we will be as one. In spirituality, there is no physical distance. If they connect to us, we will be thinking about everyone together. And we need their desire. And that's how we advance. We are already approaching the end of the lesson.
Yeah, we have a few more minutes left. So maybe Norma can say a few words.
Norma, please say a few words to, what's her title?
Norma, she coordinates all of the activities at the English department, everything.
Yeah, so please, Norma. Yes, please.
Yes, I would like also to mention a question from New York. They were not able to ask live because of some technical difficulties, and they are asking how can we know for sure that we are prepared properly for the Congress?
By reading the materials, by going over the Congress material in general, by connecting and talking about how you're going to come, you kind of excite one another over it. By listening to the Congress songs, just like before some kind of a festival, some kind of a special event that we really want to happen. So I learn, where is it going to take place, what people will come, what we're going to talk about, the schedule, etc. That's already a connection. And besides, they should ask more questions. Maybe we'll be able to have a few more lessons before the Congress. I'll be happy to move along together with you, because it really helps the general atmosphere.
I'd like to ask you a personal question, Rav. Throughout the years, I see that you reach many places in the world. You go to congresses all over the world. If there are people that want to connect and realize the wisdom of Kabbalah, you'll be there. You'll get on a plane and go there. And I wanted to ask you, what is it for you to meet your students that are all over the world, that are even learning in a different language, connecting with this wisdom? What do you feel when you come to a congress?
I'll tell you. When I started studying the wisdom of Kabbalah, I would go to my teacher every day, sometimes twice, sometimes 3 times a day. It wasn't a long drive, like in the U.S. people do, where you sometimes have to be hours on the road. But it was a drive, and constantly. And my teacher, Rabash, when I wanted to move next to him in order to study and not keep driving back and forth, He said, no. You stay there. It was in a different city. You stay where you are and keep coming to me, and even several times a day. Go back home to work and then come to another lesson to me, and then go back to sleep and then come to a lesson, and then go back to work and then come again. So I would go twice, sometimes thrice a day to him. What am I trying to say? They're driving. When we come to the Congress from afar, for example, Norma will be coming from New Zealand. That's a pretty serious trip from there to New Jersey. So, what am I trying to say? A person gains from that. I felt afterwards. In the beginning, I couldn't understand why he wanted it. To drive several times a day, constantly being on the road. And I was losing time and money and everything. No, it gave me a lot of progress. It advanced me. So I'm recommending that you don't slight the way the expenses. It all goes into the spiritual calculation. Because if you live far and you come from there to the Congress, it costs you money, effort, and all of them go into spirituality. It's like a spiritual investment. Just think, you spend another hour on a plane, pay another $100 for the ticket. It doesn't matter. It's spiritual investment. We can pay for spirituality with hours, with money, with things that exist here in our world. So it's beautiful. So don't be lazy. Don't save up. Pay with money, pay with time, pay with effort, pay with energy, pay with comfort and convenience. It all goes into spirituality. You will be rewarded for it. In the end, you will receive a big gift from above. Good luck to you. All the best. We'll be talking again before the Congress. We'll have a beautiful Congress.
So just before we finish, we wanted to say that this was our first lesson, and we'll meet in 10 days on the 1st of May on Unity Day, that everyone's invited to come to the centers. It's going to be in New York and all over. And there's a list of places that you can physically come to, and you'll be able to connect virtually. So you can find it all on the Congress site. So we want to thank you very much, Rav Laitman, and the students from North America and all over the world. And see you soon. And let's sing a song.
Good luck, everyone.
Come on, people, gather round. Let's find a higher place. Come on, people, gather round. The circle awaits. Come on, people, gather round. Put a smile on your face. Clear your senses, free your mind. Your heart will keep the beat. Let's all sing together. So get up on your feet. Completing the circle, come my way. Completing the circle, unite and play. Completing the circle, let the love shine night and day. Completing the circle, come my way. Completing the circle, unite and play. Completing the circle, let the love shine night and day. People gather round above this time and space. Come on, people, gather round. Let's find a higher place. Come on, people, gather round. The circle awaits. Hey! senses, free your mind. Your heart will keep the beat. Let's all sing together. So get up on your feet. Completing the circle, come my way. Completing the circle, unite and play. Completing the circle, let the love